So one study showed that a combination of whole body cryotherapy plus static stretching exercises reduced fatigue, reduced chronic fatigue, and improved functioning of the autonomic nervous system. So like I said earlier, there's the catecholamine responses, and there just some research on the specific responses. So after immersion in 14 degrees Celsius, which is 57 degree Fahrenheit water, which is not that cold, for 1 hour, it increased norepinephrine by 530%, so like 6x. Okay, it was huge increase in norepinephrine that was sustained, not quite at 6x for that long, but like very close to 6x, like 5x, 4x, and that can have anti-inflammatory effects. And it can decrease tumor necrosis factor alpha, for example. And as well as chemokine, that chemokine MIP-1 alpha, which is one of the things that implicated in rheumatoid arthritis. Obviously, it can increase focus when your norepinephrine goes up. That can definitely, you're going to be razor sharp focus when you jump out and get that cold plunge. Trust me. Because it's like, fight or flight. It's like I'm about to die, right? Your brain becomes like hyper focused, like it's ready to take on any challenge. Dopamine also is involved in that. So dopamine increased in that particular study by 250%, which means 3.5x, which improved people's motivation, their mood and focus. That's what it does, right? And the metabolic rate went up 350%, which means 350 above 100, which means 450, so 4.5x. And that means, it's going to help you lose weight. It's going to help increase mitochondria, all of that. They followed them for 2 hours afterwards, and they persisted for at least 2 hours. But we know for sure that people who start doing this, they start to feel different. It doesn't just last 2 hours, it lasts all day long. I did cold plunging for probably a few months, and then I kind of stopped doing it because I started traveling and stuff more, and it wasn't available. And now probably what I'll stick to is just like not heating up the water when I take a shower, right? So I'll just take cold showers. But for a while there, I was just not doing it at all. I wasn't even doing cold showers, and I didn't need it anymore. It just fixed my problem, and it was gone. Cold, some other things that it does, it decreases insulin resistance. So a lot of chronic diseases in the modern world are related to insulin and then leptin resistance. So it fixes those things at the source. And one of the ways it does that, increases brown adipose tissue, like I said earlier, which will raise your metabolic rate. So brown fat is small deposits of fat, like up here on your back, at the top of the back, around the neck, and some other places that help to make you lose weight. So it's not like the bad white fat, and it's definitely not like the really bad visceral fat. It's the positive fat that helps you get rid of the other kinds of bad fat. It upregulates thyroid hormone, lowers BCAAs, which are linked to obesity, insulin resistance, and diabetes. It stimulates metabolism, improves insulin sensitivity. So it does a whole lot of stuff. Increases the secretion of fibroblast growth factor 21, which itself will lower blood sugar. It will lead to weight loss and increased energy expenditure, so it'll cause breakup of fat lipolysis. It lowers hepatic triglycerides, so it corrects dyslipidemia. It improves and fixes non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which is fatty liver disease. It increases levels of irisin, which can increase bone density and help reverse obesity and diabetes. So like the level of detail we have in the physiological pathways and the biochemical pathways is pretty significant and enough to, suggest that you should really be doing this, right? Or at least you should try it. So it activates cold shock proteins. CAR-HSP1 is one of those, which binds to and stabilizes tumor necrosis factor again. It suppresses neuronal apoptosis, so neuron death. It suppresses that and decreases neuroinflammation. And I really believe that neuroinflammation is one of the key things that causes all disease, not just neurological disease. And the reason is that the nervous system affects everything in the body. It's like the master control system for your body. The ancients kind of considered the heart to be the emperor, but the brain and the mind and the nervous system is doing the bidding of this emperor, right? And it goes to every organ, right? And it either affects every single cell in the body directly through neurons that reach those specific cells, like your muscles, the vagus nerve goes to different organs, or indirectly by releasing chemical messengers that go to those places, like hormones, right? Norepinephrine, epinephrine, cortisol, those things. So it affects everything one way or the other. And so there will be some aspect of every chronic disease that's a neurological aspect, because once the nervous system starts to not work properly, other things are not coordinated properly. And so that begins with brain health, right? Which is affected by not getting enough sleep, which everyone doesn't get enough sleep.